Welcome to fabulous Caldicot Castle in Monmouthshire, South Wales. We're here for the finals of the Archery GB National Tour 2019. As you can see, it's going to be tricky today with a forecast of high winds and showers.
Of the Archery GB National Tour of 2019.
This morning's lineup is the quarter-final. First up, women's compound, and then the men.
Caldicot Castle. Competitors have taken part all season at competitions all around the UK to win spaces here this weekend.
So first match will be a quarter-final women's match. Target set at 50 metres with an 80 centimetre face.
We're expecting the weather to be a bit tricky today with frequent showers and some strong winds. This morning's lineup.
I'm Andrea Gales, and for the first match I'm joined by James Mason, who is the 2018 champion. Morning, James.
Morning, Andrea.
What are you most looking forward to?
I think we've got a lineup of very, very close matches. They're all very, very
Thank you to Leading Digital Paint, Starling, our new sponsor.
What do you think the key factor is going to be this morning?
I think the weather's going to play a big part. We've got castle walls all around us. I think the wind's going to swell and cause some trouble. So whoever reads that the best will come out on top.
Adios to fees when you use your Starling Bank card abroad.
Okay, so our first match of the day is Ella Gibson and Bailey Sargent. What can you tell me about these two competitors, James?
They've both represented Great Britain many times. Ella's had her first year shooting for the seniors this year and she's picked up quite a few medals, so she's done really, really well. Bailey's had a few events this year with us, also done very well.
Excellent. So
on target
we've just
one,
got a couple of facts that Ella is currently ranked world number 29 and Bailey is world ranked 84. So
and on target two,
would
Ella
suggest Ella's
Gibson.
in pole position.
Yeah, I think based on world rankings you'd have to put Ella as the favourite.
And our line judge will be Shannon Russell Cowan.
So, do you want to run through scoring for compounds?
Yeah, we have.
So we're on a cumulative score, 15 arrow match, maximum of 150 points.
We'll shoot first on target one.
Rain started to come down.
Next to the rain pouring. That's a good start.
Okay, Sergeant, open 10, possibly 9.
As you can see, each competitor has 20 seconds to shoot their arrow.
Yeah, with the weather the way it is, that could be a challenge. Definitely a struggle for them out there.
Yeah, the weather's kind of changed in the last 5-10 minutes or so. It was looking reasonable before.
Yeah, we've had black clouds coming in and the rain's now pouring. Looks like the wind's picked up as well.
Solid start from Ella with 28 out of a possible 30.
I think that's a very good effort in these conditions. I think you can see from Bailey that she was getting buffeted around an awful lot.
Target 1, 10-7-7. 10-7-7.
But officially, Ella Gibson will start out with 5
What sort of advice would the coach be giving an athlete at this point in time?
I'm not sure there's too much advice they can give. I think you've just got to try and do your process as best as possible. I think it's going to be very tricky, but I think that's all you can do.
9 was definitely a 10, so she's at 24 points. Scores now.
So it looks like Bailey's arrow was upgraded, so she's now got 24 points, so 4-point lead for Ella. Bailey will start the second end as she's behind in the match.
Eight.
It was a good one.
Nine. Good down.
Ella seems to be dialed in.
She didn't look happy with that one.
Dead.
So Ella's been on form this year. Recently shooting a new UK record of 7:05 for the qualification round.
Yeah, it's fantastic shooting.
Dead.
And her best head-to-head is 149 out of 150.
Yeah, that's great, and I think it was an international event as well earlier on in the year.
Bailey's also had a great season. She has the second highest qualification round with 696.
Unofficially scored 56. Bailey Sargent 49.
After N2 of 5, you see that Ella's got a commanding lead of 56 points to Bailey's 49.
Yeah, I think under normal circumstances you'd be quite comfortable with a 7-point lead, but I think in these conditions anything can happen. So.
And the scores are official, 56, 49. Ella gets the lead after the first 6 arrows of the 15-arrow match. Bailey Sargent will shoot first again on target 1.
So the rain's getting even harder.
Eight.
You can see the wind there just knocking her around a little bit more than on the previous ends.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the thing with alternate shooting. It's a bit of lucky at times as to whether you get the wind.
8.
It's a really good end from Bailey in those conditions.
I think she's been unlucky there as well. I think she's got 2 just out. That one's close as well.
Zella's shifted over to the left a bit, so she might want to think about moving her sight.
Yeah, I think it could well be that the wind's just sort of swirling a little bit and change direction a tiny bit. I think it's going to be tricky to kind of predict where they're going to land at times, so you've got to try and keep on top of it the best you can.
Sure, so the judge is having a look at these arrows that are close to the line.
Yeah, they've just got to be touching the line to get the higher value. I think she's going to be a little bit unlucky with those.
that was a highlight of Bailey's 2 arrows that are sitting close to the
All those
line.
close ones are in, so Ella gives them at 10-8-8. Bailey Sargent with 10-10-8. The score is now 62 for Ella Gibson, 77 for Bailey Sargent. And Bailey will shoot first again on target 1.
Okay, so as with the rules, Bailey will shoot first again because she's trailing in the match.
Another close one.
Close to the line again.
Looks like it's caught the line.
Dead.
That's a nice strong shot.
The wind is just pushing them side to side at the moment.
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, we've just had some drift left, and now she's just drifted out to the right, so I think it's just changeable.
Okay, as you can see, one of Bailey's arrows has got a star against it, and that's because from where the spotters are spotting, they can't quite see whether it's a 10 or a 9, so they're going to let the judge have a look at that.
Yeah, that's right. If it's touching the line, though, she'll get the higher value. Strong shot from Ella.
So unofficially, Ella Gibson with 10-10-8 for 110 points. Bailey Sargent with a 102.
It's looking like Ella's going to take an 8-point lead into the final end.
Well, that's a comfortable lead, isn't it, going
Yeah,
into the final end?
I think even in these conditions, she'd fancy her chances going into the final end.
Bailey's arrows was upgraded to 10, so she had 10-10.
You see the flag moving around in the background there. She did really well to make a good strong shot and put that down the middle.
Bailey Sargent will shoot first again on target 1. There are the last 3 arrows of the match. The winner of this match will go on to the quarterfinal, semifinal.
So this is the final end of the match. That's a solid start from Bailey.
That's a very good shot from Ella there. That's just increased the lead by 1 more.
You shot with Ella as part of the mixed team in Berlin.
I did, yeah, in similar conditions as well. We didn't have the rain, but we had lots of wind. She shot really well over there.
Nine.
Well done. That was difficult. Well done.
8.
Good strong 8 there. Last finishing straight,
Yeah, last shot of Ella's looked like it went a little bit quick. Just popped out the top into the 8.
Final arrow for Bailey.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done.
8.
That was tricky.
So Ella just needs to hit the target face to win.
9.
So we'll just wait for the judges
And
to
it looks like
confirm, but
Ella
it looks
Gibson
like
will
Ella
win
has
this match
been
over Bailey Sargent, go on to the semifinals.
victorious in this match.
Officially, the final score is 130.
I think that's a fairly solid start in these conditions. I think she'll be very happy with how it went.
She's never quite happy, is she?
Well, this is true. think we all feel we can do better, but
The sun's come out. So it looks like that's been confirmed. Ella has won and will move on into the semi-finals later on this afternoon.
And Ella Gibson is the winner with the 137, the Bailey Sargent with the 129, and Ella Gibson will go on to the quarterfinals.
Okay, we're just looking at Ella and a couple of shots that she managed to steer into the middle.
yeah, I think there'll be a lot of steering today. I think it's those kind of conditions.
Okay, so now we're preparing for the second quarter final of the women's compound. Okay, James, so we'll be looking at the bottom half with Sarah Moon taking on Lucy Mason.
Yeah, it'll be another close match. I think Lucy's one of only 2 previous winners that we have at this event, so she's got the experience of competing here. I believe it's Sarah's first time competing at these
Yes, it is.
tour finals.
Okay, so I think these two have lucked out a bit with the weather. The rain stopped.
It certainly looks an awful lot nicer now than it was for Bailey and Ella in the first match.
Target 1, Sarah Moon. And target 2, Lucy Mason.
So Sarah's had a good year, stepped up into the senior team in Berlin, where the women won
That silver medal.
a silver medal. Yeah, I was. So Lucy was ranked 6th going into these quarterfinals, and Sarah was ranked 3rd.
Yeah, I think Lucy's extra experience at these events might just level it out a bit, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I think Sarah's had a very strong year.
Left-hand side. String guard into the face, Sarah.
It's all about dialing in quickly from the practice field to here. I mean, you've been down the practice field this morning. It's quite exposed.
Yeah, slightly more exposed, and the field's actually pointing in slightly different directions, so the left to right's probably changed slightly. She's adjusted quick though, recovered into the middle.
String guard into the face.
Almost on the line.
Keep working it round. Keep working it round. Keep it strong. Keep coming. Keep it coming. Good shot. 9-9.
Nice, just a slight adjustment on the sight needed from Sarah just to get her into that maximum scoring ring.
Yeah, I think yet again, I think the wind seems to be coming towards them a little bit more, I think, here than what it is on the practice field, so it might just be a little change.
Guard into the face. Keep working it round. Working it round. Shot.
Like a nice strong shot there from Sarah. She just seems to have drifted right left.
She's making that adjustment. So all tied after the first end, 27 points each. And these two archers are very closely matched. So Sarah Moon has a personal best of 696 for the qualification round, which is 72 arrows. And Lucy has a personal best of 700. There's only 1 point difference in their match play bests.
Yeah, it should be a very close match. As the scores are showing, I think it could well be like this all the way through.
So as the scores are tied, we'll revert to the original shooting order with Lucy going first. Certainly a spectacular finals field.
Oh, it certainly is. It looks lovely out there. Looking forward to getting out there and shooting later.
Front shoulder. 10.
Feel like a solid shot from Lucy.
Start working it round. Keep working it round.
Unfortunately.
It looks like she might have over-adjusted there.
Front shoulder.
Another good shot from Lucy. I think she's found the
6 o'clock below the X.
found the middle now.
Keep
And
working it
Lucy's a
round.
former cadet junior world champion.
I believe so.
Gone left.
Front shoulder.
It's a great end from Lucy. 29 points out of a possible 30. Definitely putting the pressure on Sarah.
Yeah, that's solid shooting.
Come in. Good shot.
That's a good shot from Sarah to finish.
2 point lead after 2 ends for Lucy Mason, but that's not a comfortable lead.
No, I think I don't think she'll be resting easy on that just yet.
Looking at that solid shot from Sarah that found the middle.
Yeah, looks like she's finally dialed in now.
Okay, so moving into N3, Sarah's behind in the match, so we'll lead off.
Yeah, it's her opportunity to apply some pressure to Lucy now.
Hard into the face. Keep it working. Keep working round. Keep working round. 10.
That's a great shot.
Front shoulder.
Another strong shot from Lucy.
She's got only 2 arrows outside of that 10 ring.
Keep it coming. Keep working it round. Keep working it. Line on the left. Good shot.
Front shoulder.
Line into the face. Keep working it round. Keep coming. Be strong. Keep working it round.
I think Sarah was sat just under the.
Yeah, it
Where
looked like
she
she
wanted
tried to
to be.
recover that a little bit on the end there.
Okay, so a tied score for end number 3. But Lucy was still with that 2 point advantage that she gained in N2.
Yeah, it's still very much all to play for. I think 2 points is certainly nicely to have, but it disappear very quickly, especially if the wind picks up again.
Okay, so the judge just signalling that Sarah will lead off in end number 4.
Yeah, it's important she starts well again, trying to put some more pressure on Lucy.
Into the face, work it round. Keep going, keep moving. Bring it round. Keep it going.
That's a good start.
And these two fighting for a place in the semi-final to meet Ella, who we saw earlier.
Low right.
Come on, Sarah. Hard into the face. Work it round. Keep working it. Coming on the left.
Right, firm front shoulder.
Say
soft
Sarah's
front
sitting just
elbow.
slightly on the left-hand side of the
Yeah, she
target.
tends to be drifting out left.
10.
That's a good shot from Lucy. Back in the middle very quickly.
Sarah, keep working it hard. Work it round. Work it round. Stay strong. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. 5, 4,
Sarah just been buffeted
3,
by the wind here.
2.
Yeah, the wind definitely took its toll there. You can see the time going down less as the
Soft front elbow.
Really good shot from Lucy. So Lucy takes a further 2-point lead, so extending it to 4 points.
Yeah, I think normally you'd feel quite comfortable with a 4-point lead going to the last end, but as you can see from Sarah's that last arrow there, anything can happen, and it just takes a gust at the wrong time. You can quite easily shoot one into the 7.
So the scores have been confirmed by the judges at the target. Lucy with 112 and Sarah with 108.
String guard into the face. Keep working around now. Keep working around. Keep it coming. Okay. A little lower.
Firm front shoulder. Soft front elbow. Low right.
Both archers seem to be sitting a bit low in the target as well.
Yeah,
Working it round.
might be a change in the wind once again. It's very difficult to tell. I think it's going to swirl. I think it's going to change all day, so
Working
it's
around.
difficult to stay on top of it.
Still a little low, Sarah.
Firm front shoulder. Soft front elbow. Picking up. 10.
Okay, so 5-point lead with 1 arrow left.
Working it round. Keep working it round.
Firm front shoulder. Soft front elbow. Good. Excellent.
That's a nice way to finish.
Yeah, 29 end and a score of 141. We'll just wait for the judges to confirm.
Yeah, I think a 141 is going to be a good score today. I think anything over 140, I think they should be quite happy.
Looks like that's been confirmed, and Lucy Mason has won that match, and she will meet Ella Gibson into this afternoon's semi-finals.
Yeah, that should be a very close match. I think they're both in the same club, so
A lot of rivalry.
a big rivalry between the two.
is a winning shot from Lucy. Okay, so we're through now to the third quarter-final of the compound women. And we move into the top half of the draw, which we can see, and we'll start with Layla Anderson versus Victoria Barbie. James, you're going to leave me now to go and practice?
Going to do some practice ready for this afternoon. Thanks for having me.
It's been great. I'll be joined shortly by Izzy Carpenter. Good morning, Izzy.
Morning, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, good. So, just been down in the coach's box for one of the matches. What was it like down there?
It was honestly like we were in some sort of like storm pocket. It was insane. As soon as Bailey loaded our first arrow on the end and the rain just came thrashing down, it was completely different to the practice field as well. So the archers have got that to take into account, definitely. We're in a different direction and the wind is completely different too.
Sure. So this is our third quarter-final, and we've got Layla Anderson, who was ranked 5, and Victoria Barbie, who was ranked 4.
Yeah, so we've got two archers closely ranked here, so in terms of like being an even match, I mean, we should see some good shooting from these two ladies.
So if we just look at a few stats of the archers, Layla's having a fantastic season. She shot a 6.97 qualifying round.
Yeah, she did.
And a 148 head-to-head.
I mean,
out
this
of
is
150.
insane shooting, especially for a junior too.
Yes.
Keeping up with the ladies.
And just having a look at the other quarterfinals, everybody seems to be starting off over on the left-hand side.
Yeah, the wind down at the far end with the targets is coming from the right-hand side. I mean, Layla's just shot exactly the same place as Vicky, basically. But the wind at the archer's side is completely different as well. So there's that to take into account, because you're being pushed one way, but then your arrow's getting pushed another direction. So there's a lot to think about here.
So again, just to explain, there's a star against Layla's arrow, and that's because they're unsure of the arrow value at this moment in time.
Yeah, we've had quite a few of those.
Although I can kind of see there
That's it definitely
8.
looks out from here. Yeah, Bailey had quite a few of those when I was coaching her. Good shots as well. So in this kind of weather, good shots don't always mean 10s, and that's where the differentiation will be between the two athletes and who could possibly gain those points.
A strong shot from Layla there to finish off that end. I think those scores will stay. Victoria shooting 28, and Layla shooting 27. Both of these archers aren't that experienced at this type of finals field.
No, they're not. Layla did attend the national tour finals last year, but I think she went out in the first round. So it'll be nice for her to sort of like have a bit of a redemption and see if she can get a bit further through this time.
A bit of a fun fact for you as well. Vic Darby actually qualified in 2017 for the finals, but didn't attend because she was pregnant with her son Daniel and due to give birth the following week.
I mean, as far as excuses go. It'll be nice for her, because I remember she was saying how she's really happy that she can make the finals again, just sort of, you know, she made it 2 years ago, like you said, and she finally gets a chance to have a go at it this time.
And she's been shooting really well all through her pregnancy. She was shooting new records, Scottish records, so you know, it seems to have helped her.
yeah, I mean, having a bit of time off and just sort of shooting for the fun of it as well.
10 seconds.
Okay, so Layla seems to have found the middle now. And you've shot on teams with Layla?
I have, yeah. We've shot together loads on GB youth squad and on the team abroad and stuff. So she's a solid shooter, and once she gets her rhythm going, she's unstoppable really, because she just finds it and she's really comfortable. And she's a really good teammate to shoot within team and mixed as well. She shot with my brother in mixed team loads of times, and they've done really well. So she definitely knows what she's doing when it comes to finals fields. Just hanging on the left there. I mean, the wind is really strong, and the flags are quite misleading as well, because they don't look like they're moving so much, and it's really kicking them off to that left-hand side.
Yeah, if you look at the windsock on the left-hand side of the screen, it's just moving from side to side.
Yeah, it's usually a better gauge than the tall flags of the windsock, but it's just something that they're going to have to take into consideration. The minute that they draw up, they've just got to hope that it stays where they last saw it. Yeah, she looked like she got caught on that arrow there.
So Layla with 29 out of a possible 30 for that end, and Vic struggling a little with 22. It looks like so Matthew Wong, who's also in competition this afternoon. Okay, so if you saw Victoria's last arrow was a 6, it looks like the wind is quite blustery.
Yeah, it's really catching you off guard as well. It's coming in gusts rather as long bursts of wind. It's not consistent, and it does catch you. Even in the middle of shots, it's changing.
And with alternate shooting, it's a bit of luck of the draw as to when you're shooting.
Exactly, because sometimes it's, if you get caught in it, you've just got to shoot the best arrow you can possibly shoot and hope that your opponent might get caught in it as well, but it just depends on how long those gusts are lasting.
See, Victoria's trailing by 6 points.
I mean, in this kind of weather, any sort of gap can come back, it can narrow. As you said, it just depends on if you get caught in those gusts or not, and how you handle that, and if you can keep it straight enough in the gust.
10 seconds.
Still on the left, but just caught that 10. I mean, this wind is nothing dissimilar to what we've seen all year, really, so
No, definitely not.
something the Archers will be used to having shot this season. Quite a long hold.
2.
It's a good shot in the conditions. I mean, with it being so blustery, they're going to use up their 20 seconds.
Yeah, and it's just making sure to catch it within those last couple of seconds, because 20 seconds, if you're in a 7:20 round, it's you don't necessarily shoot your arrows in 20 seconds. You might take those gaps in between. So final shooting is a completely different ball game in that aspect, because you've got to then train yourself to get it within that time frame.
So that's a good recovery from Vic Barbie from her last end, and solid shooting from Layla.
Really consistent from Layla.
Yeah. Layla made our senior women's team this year.
Yeah, she did.
Along with Ella and Lucy.
Such a great team this year. They've done so well. Very competitive against some of, arguably the more experienced women out there.
Yeah, I think we've seen a shift definitely this year in women's compound archery in the UK.
Competition's become a lot more close as well. Everyone seems to be just nipping each other's heels. They're really, really close, and you could never tell.
It's gone to insane levels.
It's skyrocketed. It really has. Yeah, she's trying to keep that bow arm as still as she can.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, you can tell she struggled with that. Just trying to keep it still, making sure it wasn't as mobile. See Vicky's waiting it wind out a little bit, giving herself 10 seconds to shoot the arrow. Nice quick shot. I mean,
Yeah. If you look at her target face, everything's on the left
on the left
side.
Yeah, it's tricky because, especially down there as a coach, it was difficult to know what to tell the archer, because with the wind being as changeable as it was, if all 3 arrows were going in the same place, then definitely move. But with this wind, it could knock it from one side of the 9 to the other and potentially not catch those 10s. Yeah, that just caught her at the end there, that gust.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, she did really well to keep that steady there, keep it in the 9. Sometimes 9s are all you need in this kind of weather.
We've seen that. So Layla takes 109 to 103 lead after 4 ends with 1 end left to go.
I mean, Vicky's done well not allowing Layla to gain any more of a lead on her. Still 6 points in it. I mean, Vicky's primarily a field archer. I mean, from what she says, she really enjoys doing field.
Yeah, but I know that I've shot with her before, and she's a great competitor and a really nice target companion.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you reckon having sort of a field background can help in windy situations like this?
I think it helps you to adapt to the conditions, because
Yeah.
in field no 2 targets are the same.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And especially if it's unmarked, for example, you've got to be able to judge it really quickly. Also, not just the distance, but applying in the wind factors as well, and how that may affect where the arrow will go. So I suppose that can help in this sort of situation.
Solid shooting from Layla. As you can see, there's only 2 arrows outside of the gold.
Yeah, you can tell those clearly have been ones where she's just been caught out on the wind at the last second. So, I mean, it goes to show, had it not been for the wind, she would be shooting even more consistently, but her grouping is really good in these kind of conditions.
Just keeping the pressure on and extending the lead.
Layla only needs a 5 to win. I mean, she kept that lead. She did a great job in maintaining it, and in this last end, just extending it that bit further.
Down 4 seconds on the clock.
8.
She makes
It was an 8. It's all she needed.
We're just waiting for confirmation from the target judges, but it appears that Layla Aniston has won the 3rd quarter final.
10, 9, 8. 10, 8, 7.
So that's confirmed. Layla moves forward, and she will take on the winner of our final quarter final. Just getting a good look at Layla and how strong she was throughout that match.
It was so good. And that last arrow, she knew exactly where it went, but she knew it was enough. She laughed at it and thought, you know what, that's all I needed. Sometimes that's the case in like these sort of conditions, just keeping knowing what you need to shoot rather than trying to aim for 10. Sometimes they can make it more difficult to even get them.
Weather has turned again and we're getting some light drizzle out there. Okay, so now we're into the final quarter-final of the compound women. As we can see, we've now reached the number 1 seed, Sarah Preels, taking on the number 8 seed, Susan Corliss. Looks like the wind's picked up. One of the coaches' umbrellas is blown inside out.
I was close to losing my umbrella a couple of times, I'm not going to lie.
Okay, so Sarah, a very decorated archer,
Yep,
from Belgium,
yep.
has a personal best of 7:04.
That's nice and tidy, that one.
Yeah, and a 1:48 for the 15 arrow match.
I mean, in terms of finals fields, she's done more than she can probably count.
And Susan Corliss has a personal best of 6:93 and a 15 arrow pass of 1:45. She's also part of the team that took silver in Berlin at the World Cup this year.
I mean, there was some great shooting from them this year. It's been a very successful year for compound archery for GB.
And in similar conditions, say I was in Berlin
Yeah.
and it was windy, so you know Susan's pretty good in the wind.
Yeah, she'll know how to handle herself, and she'll know when to shoot, when to hold off, and get that clean shot that she needs.
Great first shot from Sarah, and she'll draw on all of her finals experience.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Using every bit of experience that she's built up over the years. I think it really is a case of who can find the 10 the quickest and adapt the quickest to the situation that they've been presented with, especially in conditions like these where it will change in the end, let alone in between ends.
Sarah looking solid. Susan just needs to get herself dialed in.
10 seconds.
8.
Yeah, Sarah looks really comfortable out there. It's definitely where she feels sort of the most in her element, really. For Susan, it's just going to be a case of finding that 10 just to claw back at those points.
It's a 5-point lead, but like we've seen throughout this morning's quarterfinals, things can change very quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Sarah's looking really strong. Yeah, opening up with.
That's a great way to start a match, isn't it?
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
settles you down.
It does, and it also lets your opponent know where you're at as well.
Okay, so we're going to move into N2. And Susan will shoot first because she's behind in the match.
Just to the right.
Bailey's archers opening up with arrows in the 9. I think out of everybody I've seen so far, Sarah seems the most comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. She seems to have settled into it a lot quicker. I think for the other archers, it's taken a couple of ends just to find their rhythm and to settle into it. But that's a nice way to end the 3 hours for Susan. But yeah, like it's taken Susan a couple of ends just to find the 10, get comfortable. But I think that is Sarah simply using her experience to her advantage. She's done this a lot of times, and she'll, after a while, you sort of gauge, okay, right, I need to settle down a lot quicker. And the more you do something, the more comfortable you get with it. That was such a strong shot.
If you're going to shoot an arrow in a shoot-off, that's the sort of arrow you want to shoot.
Knock out the spider. That's exactly what you want.
Couldn't have been any more perfect.
No, I mean, just look at her. She just looks so collected now. She's like, okay, I found where I am. I know how I'm shooting. And she knows if she's done it well, she can do it again.
Just see the bows moving around.
Yeah, just caught her off guard, that one, a little bit. But yeah, consistently out onto the left-hand side, 8-9 liners when the wind's sort of picking up like that. That was such a steady shot, that. Yeah, just getting moved a little bit there on the front.
I think we're going to see some more shots like that today where archers are trying to steer the arrow in because their aim is slightly off.
You don't always have a choice, I mean, in those moments you can't come down. You have 20 seconds, and if you've got 5 seconds left and you get in a gust, you've got to do what you need to do to get that arrow as close to the middle as you can, because every point counts in these matches. 15 arrows is not a lot when it gets down to it. That's such a tight. That's the best group we've seen all day. That is the nicest group of 3 we've seen all day.
That's quite a commanding lead for Sarah now. 12 points.
I mean, that put her at mind at ease a little bit, because she can just go ahead, shoot her shots, and not really think about where it might be going. She's got that lead to play with.
But I think for me, having looked at all the quarterfinals this morning, she seems the most comfortable and dialed in.
Yeah, exactly. She knows what she's doing, and that is clear with her scores as well. There's just absolutely no nerve whatsoever, and that's just emitting from her. You can just tell exactly what she's thinking. She knows what she's doing. She's sort of in a happy place. She knows exactly what she's doing here. She didn't look too happy with that shot, but I mean, it was good. It was a perfect X.
She shot 10 arrows and only dropped 3 on the outside of the 10 ring, so
it's going to take a lot to move her, I think, at this rate. But even in still wind, You know, if this was to be, well, it can't be anymore, but if this does end up as a 146 as a maximum score, that is something that you would be happy with in still weather, let alone the sort of changeable weather we're getting today.
10.
It's a great shot from Susan to finish that end.
10.
Goes the 10 line. So Sarah maintaining that high level of scoring, moves into a 14-point lead.
I mean, that's insane, especially going into the last end.
It looks like we're getting a few more of the crowd in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an early start on it for a Saturday, so it's nice to see people coming along and supporting it. But yeah, as the day goes along, I think more and more people are going to be piling in.
Okay, so we're moving into the 5th and final end of this match. See if Susan can finish off strongly.
She did well to keep that in the 9 there. You can see the bow moving. That was difficult there. I think it just goes to show how important it is, that front arm, just keeping it as steady as possible, because it does make the difference.
10. Nice shot.
10.
Nice quick shot. Gets a lovely 10x liner at the bottom there.
10.
There's a lot of facial expressions from Sarah that you think the arrow's not going to land where
Yeah.
it actually does.
Yeah, if you just watched her shoot, you'd think, oh, she's not happy with that one. You pan onto the target and it's a great group of 10s.
That's it. It's a great last end from Susan to finish the match with 130.
10, 9, 8.
Sarah's last arrow out in the 9, but it was more than enough to win. 15-point lead in the end there.
And I think the experience just shone through at that,
Yeah.
in that match for Sarah.
Yeah, she just looked so comfortable. There was absolutely nothing in her that sort of suggested any sort of doubt or nerve. She was just shooting her shots as if she was shooting them at home.
We've got our semi-final lineup now. We'll have Ella Gibson versus Lucinda Mason, and Layla Anderson versus Sarah Friel. So
That's a nice semi-finals there. A lot of
big hitting semi-finals.
Yeah,
coming up.
definitely. And a lot of experience as well going into it. All 4 of the women going into the semi-finals have done numerous amounts of finals fields, both abroad, both in this country, on senior, on junior trips, everything. So we can expect some really nice shooting.
And at the end of our quarterfinal matches, next up will be Hong Kong men. We'll have 8 others in the quarterfinal matches. The winners
Okay, and that was Sarah's winning shot. So she'll be happy. She can go take a break and recover from being blown around.
Thank you to the Digital Face Starter, our new sponsor for the National Tour Finals. Stay on target by writing track record in real time with Starter segments in Starter. Say adios to and use your Starter.
Okay, we're moving on now to the men's quarterfinals and some big lineups.
Two-ball archery, axel archery, and board archery.
Okay. Here are the brackets for the quarterfinals. We're moving straight into Chris White versus Adam Ravenscroft. So these two archers are probably two of the most experienced archers
On the field.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Chris, who's won world championships, both field, indoor,
outdoor, everything really.
And Adam, who in the last few years has been our best.
He's been the top ranked male for the past few years. And as a team, they've done really well. As far as evenly matched semis go, quarterfinals go, this is one of the ones to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So Adam's got his wife Christy in the coach's box, which is nice. I know he enjoys having her there. She's a great support.
Yeah, definitely.
And Chris has Dan. So Chris was ranked 7th and Adam was ranked 2nd.
It's a great opening shot from Adam. Just how you want to start the match. Put a little pressure on here for Chris to do the same.
You see the rain coming off Chris's strings then?
It's clearly just from being at the practice field on the first shot, and it's all just come out the string now. That's a great opening group there.
It's a perfect score for Adam to open up the match.
That's some tidy shooting there. Exactly how you want it for the first end. Put the pressure on and hopefully gain a couple of points in the meantime. Or one. Or 1 point. No, he's happy about that one. Okay. He didn't like getting too much of a lead there. No, he wasn't having it.
There's a lot of respect from both archers, and it's great to see them enjoying themselves out there on the field play.
And I think that's what's really good about these finals, is that you tend to get quite a lot of people that train together, that shoot together on a weekly basis, and have known each other for years. So it's nice to see some friendly competition where it's, just two mates having a match together.
These archers will have been around the UK together, trying to qualify for this final, so they'll have come up against each other on numerous occasions. So Chris will be leading off this second end.
8.
To a 1 point lead, and I know Chris leaves for the European Fields
Yeah, that's coming up, isn't it?
either tomorrow or Monday.
9.
That's going to be a quick change of setup then. getting it
He
all
may
ready
well
for
be
field.
running his field setup
Yeah.
today just to see how it
Nice.
performs
Yeah.
under pressure. They shoot up to 60 metres. So
Yeah. Bit of movement going on there.
9.
I think he struggled a little bit to get that shot to go. It's just it wasn't in his time frame, just slightly outside.
9.
So not a great end from Adam.
Yeah, not as clean as his first one now.
But still only a point in it between the two.
I think we're going to be seeing this per end, to be honest. Them chopping and changing the whole way through.
Now Chris White now taking over the lead with
You
a
tend to find as well
10-9-9,
with the guys, they
28
match
points
each
to Adam
other.
Ravenscroft.
Almost identical.
9-9-8, 26 points. So the official score, Chris White with a 1 point lead, 57 over Adam Ravenscroft with a 56.
Okay, so we'll start
Adam
with
wants his
Adam
personal
as
target
he's
too.
trailing in the match. I do think this is going to come down to the last arrow.
Yeah, it will be a case of that for sure. I mean, those are definitely the best matches, as a spectator especially, because, you know, it's each end, you're not quite sure who's going to get it until that last, like you said, that last arrow shot.
9.
Yeah, both of them still hanging a little
9,
low,
possibly
yeah,
10.
under the 10.
Again, we've got a starred arrow, which means from where the scorers are sitting, they can't quite see whether it's actually touched that line or not. So I'll leave that for the target judges to decide.
7.
Chris got caught then.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he had time enough to settle into the shot and make a clean shot before it had already gone.
Just see the movement on.
This is the thing with this weather, it's changing. Even
8.
between 3 arrows being shot. And your first arrow might not be the same as shooting your last one.
Okay, so we're potentially looking at a tied score, although I do think Adam's arrow is going to be
I think
upgraded.
it's a 10, yeah, from
So
here.
he may
We have
move
one
into
arrow
a
in the
1
mid too
point
close
lead.
to call. The Archers could be tied at 82-82. We'll see what the judges say down there at the target after they've had a good look.
Got a slight waterfall in the tent.
Get magnifying glass out and see if the arrow just touches the line and we'll get the higher score.
Target 1 with 997, target 2 10 9.
And the arrow was called in for a 10.
So it looks like Adam's arrow was upgraded.
So
and
Adam's
moves into a
Ravenscroft
1 point
has
lead with 6
taken the
arrows to
lead
go.
with 83 over Chris White.
Yeah, it's just like we thought, they'd be changing
Chris
lead the
White
whole
will
way
shoot
through.
first on target 1.
You can tell the wind's picking up again. Those flags just behind the coaches there and moving a lot quicker than they were a minute ago. So, I mean, this is what's going to make the difference between who wins and who loses, just who can adapt quicker to the changing weather, because it is changing very quickly at the moment.
Chris
9.
did really well to just
To keep that in the 9, yeah. Sometimes that's just the case, isn't it? I know when I was down there talking to the girls after they'd shot in, they were saying it was a case of a scoring error in some of those gusts would have been nice, because it was a case of, well, it might not even hit at this point.
8.
So Adam can take advantage here and move into a 4-point lead.
And he does. It's a really nice group in. Still slightly low, but I mean, they're definitely well in the 10. Just where he needs to be. He just needs to stay there.
10.
So Adam shoots at
Looks like
29
Adam
out of
Craven's
possibly
crossed
30.
with a 10,
Chris is
10,
27 to
29
move him
points
into a
over
3-point
Chris White
lead.
with a 27
3
out
arrows
of
each to
90.
get.
Now has a 3-point lead, 112 to 109. With only 3 arrows
The
left
fourth
to
end is
shoot.
so critical though, because I think it really does set you up for that last end. Still, you know, it puts the pressure on for some people as well.
How solid Adam is.
And the scores are official. Adam has a 3-point lead with 3 arrows left to shoot. And Chris White will shoot first on target 1. Winner of this match will go to the
So Chris
quarterfinals.
will lead off. He needs to put some pressure onto Adam here.
Yeah, definitely, he really does. Because like we've seen, 3 points in this in these conditions is so changeable, and it can, you know, the archers can influence that.
That's
Yeah.
too close to call from
Too close to
here.
call.
I think we're going to have to wait for the judge to make a decision on that.
The scorers have put it down as a 9, so they don't think he's quite caught the line.
9.
And another one just out there.
I think that is a 9.
Yeah,
then.
that one's definitely a 9, but I think Chris's will definitely be up to the judge call.
10X.
That's a lovely X.
Chris is
9.
applying the pressure.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, and he knows that, okay, last end, I'm a few points behind, this is what I need to do. And that's where his experience will come into play here. Both archers know what they're doing, and Chris knows if you're trailing, you put on that pressure when needed. And that's such a nice
10X.
finish. 2 X's to finish. And so it means Adam needs a 10 to win the match.
9.
Oh, and it's a 9.
So we're going to have to wait here. If
It's gonna be
Chris's
close.
arrow
One
gets
arrow a little too
upgraded
close
to a
to
10,
call.
we'll be going to shoot off.
I kind of want to
We'll have
shoot
the
off, to be
judges
honest.
take a look and see.
I mean, this is what we said. It would be, the last arrow would be the decider.
Very close
And it
match
is, it
here.
comes down to an arrow call here.
Be up to the judges to see if Chris White's arrow there. If they have a look on both sides with the magnifying glass. If it is
From here,
missed,
that is too close
it
to
will
call.
be a tie, and we'll have a tiebreaker.
Yeah, Chris can't tell either. He's having a quick look through the scope there.
Oh, and Adam
And
has
it looks like
won the
the
match
arrow
by a
was
single
called out.
point. Chris's arrow wasn't close
Didn't
enough.
quite
I mean, he did really well to put on the pressure there in the last end. He really
Still
made
great team.
Adam work for it.
They're both men. And Adam Ravenscroft will take the win and move to the semifinals with a
Adam moves
139
through
over
to
Chris
the
White.
semi-finals
The
later
legend
on
in
this
his own
afternoon.
mind with a 138.
I mean, that's just the kind of match we were expecting from these two archers. Close to the very end. Adam's final end, 27, but it was enough, and he built up that lead in the process towards the last end, and 27 was enough.
Okay, so we're now moving on to the second quarter final for the compound men. Target set at 50 metres. going to stay in the bottom half, and we'll be watching Matt Wong take on Simon Scott. Okay, so it looks like Simon's gone with Ella.
Yeah, so
who
she's
shot
come back
earlier.
on.
Yeah, which should be a great help to get through to him what the conditions are like.
Yeah, definitely she'll be able to sort of feedback what she experienced. I mean,
And please
it's
welcome
possible that could have
competitors
changed
for
from that being the
compound men's
first
quarterfinal
quarterfinal match of the day
on
that we
target
saw,
one,
but
Matthew
it is really good to be
Wong.
able to sort of give Simon a feel of the environment and what to expect.
And on target
Matt's
2,
gone for
Simon
Dan, who
Scott.
was again out earlier with Lucy, so
And the line
they'll
judge
be
in
able
this match
to
will
help
be
him through
Graham
those
Pop.
conditions. So Matt was ranked 3rd.
Matthew Wong will shoot
Simon
first on target 1.
Just have a look at a bit. The scores from this year. Simon has got a PB of 699 out of 720.
Just missed out on that 700. It's really tidy shooting
Matt
there.
has shot 703 this year.
9.
Yeah, that was, I believe, if I'm right, I think that was at Weatherby, up my end. Notorious for being windy as well, so that's so nice shooting for that venue especially.
Yeah, and, much with the women's side being dominated by the juniors. Juniors are coming
Yeah.
through on the men's side now
Yes.
with Matt and your brother Adam.
It's really nice to see them as well, because it gives some of the more experienced men a bit more of a challenge as well to get new opponents, and sort of
9.
puts the pressure on for them to sort of like perform even better than they were already.
It's a solid opening for Matt, 28 out of a possible 30.
Simon needs 10 here just to equal out the first end.
8.
No, he didn't look happy with that shot. He knew where it went.
So the unofficial score after the first 3 arrows, Matthew Wong takes the lead with 28 points, 10-9 now.
28 to 26.
Over Simon Scott
Still
with
4
26
ends to
with a
go.
9-9-8. And the scores are official.
Just telling the archers whether they're shooting first
Simon
or
Scott
second.
will shoot first now on target 2.
Whoever's behind in the match will start the next end.
In terms of shooting first and second, because in some matches you get the choice being the higher ranked archer, do you think it can make a difference in terms of how you perform or mental game? Or
I think everybody's got a different preference. I've always liked going first just to get those arrows down there.
yeah, then I
9.
suppose you don't have your opponent's arrows to see beforehand as well.
In this, there's some benefit to going second so that you can watch for the conditions and see what it's doing.
Yeah,
9.
because the practice field is it's a few minutes away from where the finals is taking place here, so the conditions will be different for the archers, and their first arrow is critical. They've got to shoot a confident first strong shot that they know is a good one,
10
then judge it purely on where it goes, because the wind is completely different to what they've just been practicing in. A little bit of a gust come through there. Managed to hold it.
10.
And the scores have awarded it a 9-star again, so that's definitely one that the judge will have to take a closer look at.
10 at bullseye.
Really nice finishing arrow there for Simon. He looked kind of shocked as well. I don't think he thought he was going to go in the X there.
No, I don't think it was his best shot.
9. One arrow is a bit too
Okay,
close
so
to call over on
potentially
Matthew
Matt
Long.
could move into a
Target,
1
so
point
we'll have
lead
the judges
depending on whether
take
that
a look.
9 starred arrow is upgraded to a 10.
Simon Scott with 2 great X's and 9 to 29 points.
I've got a sneaky feeling it might just be
Let's see
in,
how
but
that arrow's called.
it's difficult to tell
Know
from this
whether
angle.
we're going into a tie or whether Matthew Long will take a 1 point lead.
Okay, so there we go. It has been upgraded, and Matt takes a 56-55
And Matthew Long's
lead.
arrow was called
after
in, so he had a
2.
10-9-9.
I mean, he'll
And
definitely
now has
still
a
want to
1
extend
point
the
lead
lead.
over
The
Simon
1
Scott
point in
after
it
the
is
first
not a
6
lot at the
arrows
end
in
of
a
the day.
15 arrow match.
And as you say, you know, we've got 3 more ends to go.
And Simon Scott
and
will
that
shoot
can easily
first on
change.
target 2.
I think it'll be strange for Simon having to go up against someone that you're used to coaching all the time on the junior team.
Yeah, it is quite bizarre.
Yeah, it is, and it's quite nice actually, because it's quite nice to go up against someone familiar as well, someone that you're used to being around.
Nine.
Just see through the reaction of the shot that wasn't great.
No, it wasn't as strong as it could have been.
9. Yes.
Yeah, managed to catch that one a little bit there.
9.
Shot's looking strong, just not quite.
Not quite finding the
Central,
10, yeah. But that's the thing with these, you know, with these conditions. I mean, good shots aren't always 10s, and it's just finding the difference between the two. And sometimes they have to be perfect shots to be able to get that 10.
10.
Nice way to finish the end.
Okay, so both archers shooting 28, so that still remains 1 point.
It looks like the archers have tied on that end, both with a 10-9-9 for 28 points apiece.
See in the background some of the
in
other
the lead by
archers
1
in
point,
the
84
category.
to 83.
Just
Yeah, just hanging around waiting to see what's going to happen.
Judges
It's also quite good as well to keep up to date with what the wind's doing as well, just by watching how they're doing. Because eventually one of them, you know, like we can see, we just saw Adam there,
And the
you know,
scores
eventually
are
he's going to be
official.
going up against possibly one of these two
One.
along the way.
Maintains a 1 point lead.
It's nice to see how
84-83.
your
Very
maybe
close
opponent
match
might
here.
be
6
doing.
arrows left to go. Simon Scott will shoot first on target 2.
Where they're taking a turn, the rain's coming back in. I can say it's not, from personal experience, it's not very nice out there when it does. It came thrashing down out of nowhere. So, and with the direction of the wind for right-handed archers, it's going straight into your face. So it's not ideal. Yeah, a bit of a gust came through there.
8.
it's time for Matt to try and capitalise on a slight error from Simon.
Looking like really like committed shots,
Nine.
but they're just not quite finding the 10 as he'd probably like. Big cuss coming in. Simon really needs to keep committed on the front there to hope to stay within the gold.
Yeah,
Seven.
that was a
tricky.
brutal 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Weather.
I mean, we've seen quite a few of those where it'll just change within a second, and sometimes it is a case of trying to get as close to, you know,
7.
keeping them within reds and golds sometimes in those kind of conditions is what you'd want.
So Matt wasn't able to capitalise on that 7 from Simon.
Another gust coming through here.
He stops a little.
8.
I mean, he did well to keep that there, to be
Yeah, he
honest. I mean, coming off the stops and back on again, it really does put you out of alignment.
9.
And a 9 from that, which is enough at this rate to even give him more of a lead. Even with that 7, you know, he still managed to keep the other two within in the zone and keep them there. It just goes to show how easy these matches can go from shooting 30s and 29s to then, 25s like this.
Now with a
And it really is anyone's game, so
shot
until the last arrow is shot,
106.
anyone could have the match.
with one arrow that's closed and is being looked at by the judges.
One more end.
We could
Matt
up to
with a
107.
3-point lead. That isn't
Back to one,
comfortable
997.
in these
Yeah.
conditions.
I mean, you'd still like a few more on there, but yeah, if the next end isn't as windy as what they've just experienced, it may pose successful for him.
Simon Scott's arrow wasn't out, so we have 8, 8, 7. Now Matthew Long with a 3-point lead. 109, with 3 arrows left to see. Simon Scott for 2 burgers by the 2.
Simon needs to get off to a good start here. I'd be expecting the arrows to just drop a little with the
rain. Yeah. That's something that these two will have accounted for. I mean, they know what it's like, and we have had similar conditions throughout the year, so yeah, it's just gone down in the 8 there. So Simon can really hopefully take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's a 2-point match now.
I mean, with 2 hours to go in these conditions, that could easily go his way. Oh, just got caught there. You could see him trying to just catch it at the last second. Another gust coming through. Yeah, that's an 8. Yeah.
So back to 3 points.
You can tell from the angle the arrows are going in at, they're really getting affected by the weather.
Great finish from Simon. He's done all he can do.
Yeah, an X.
Matched by Matt.
It just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, exactly when those bits of weather were hitting, they were both shooting the same arrows, and then the minute it stops, both straight back in the X. They did really well to keep the arrows in the zone, keep them there. And Matt just slowly gaining more of a lead as he went along. It goes to show how much you need to capitalise on those moments when the wind isn't hitting, and get as many 10s in those moments as you can, so then when it does hit and you do shoot an arrow that's not as good, it can be worth it.
Matt Wong has been confirmed as the winner of that quarter-final.
He looks really happy. They should be really happy with their performance there. That was some tricky shooting.
That's Matt's winning shot, which will take him into a semi-final against Adam Ravenscroft. Okay, we're now moving into the 3rd quarter-final of the compound men's competition. Okay, and now we enter the top half of the draw, where we see Duncan Busby taking on Neil Bridgewater.
Again, these are another 2 very experienced archers. We should see some great shooting from these 2.
Duncan was ranked 5th, and Neil was ranked 4th.
Middle of the pack. So very closely ranked.
Yeah. Both of them shooting for Team Mybo.
I believe we've got 4 Mybo shooters in the top 8 for the men. A couple of Hoyt and a couple of Piercy, I think. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Target 1, Duncan Busby.
It's nice to see a sort of like a range of different shooters and people from sort of
Target 2,
shooting different bows as well. So.
Bridgewater. And our line judge is
So Neil has previously won the finals
Yep.
twice, in
Yeah.
2015 and 2016.
2 years running. Back then. Yeah.
Duncan actually won the first ever
Oh wow.
finals back in 2009. So
Gosh, yeah. That is a while ago now. Yeah.
he's been around a long time. Duncan to lead off.
Yep.
10.
It's just how you want to open up. That's,
It is indeed.
yeah. See if Neil can reciprocate.
Six. 5.
9.
Bit of a long hold there.
Maybe just let the dots up.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of movement there just as the arrow went.
Seven. 6. 5.
So Neil here, he was a great
Yeah.
recurve shooter.
Yeah, before we switched over to compound.
One of the few people that has shot 1300 with a recurve and 1400
with
a
a compound. Yeah. Not many people can say they've done that, so I mean that's great to be able to sort of dominate both categories as well, you know that you're capable of doing the two.
8.
So good group from Duncan, just a little bit high.
Seven. 6. 5. 4. 3.
Neil down to the last couple of seconds, but waiting it out.
Yeah. Good decision there.
I think that's where his
Looks like
experience comes through, and also he's probably one of the calmest
Yeah, he's honestly
guys
just
that I've ever met.
it's so strange watching him shoot because you've no idea what he's thinking. He just looks so relaxed. Whether it's a good shot or a bad shot, you won't know the difference just by looking at him. He's just really relaxed with his shooting.
And again, great teammates, so
Yeah.
The scores are official.
camaraderie showing through.
After the first 3 areas, 15-11.
So Duncan will be shooting first, so he's trailing in the first after the first end.
Yeah.
He's gone from high to now just a little bit too low. Just missed out on that 10 there. I mean, Neil's found that 10 very quickly. He's settled in really well. See a Gus coming through there with the last few seconds. Wow, that is such. He's solid on the shot there. He's
Yeah.
committed on the front, and it really does make the difference. Because even with that gust, he was able to keep it in the zone. Another great group from Duncan.
9.
Another solid end
Looks
for
like both
Neil,
archers
another
shot
29
now.
out of 30, so he maintains his 3-point lead over Duncan.
Nice consistent shooting from Neil.
Bridgewater still have 58 points over Kentucky with 55.
See Simon's come back on to coach Duncan.
And the score is both archers
Yeah,
tied
they
on
spent
that
quite a
end,
lot of
so
time
they
together.
brought
Obviously, they're my bow shooters, and when the new bow was brought out, I think they had quite a lot of
Time, yeah, they spent together, you know, like working on it and figuring out, you know, the changes to make after the first edition. So, I mean, it's the sort of coach that you want, someone who's very familiar with the way you shoot and how you like the shot to be.
I mean, to be honest, today they're just keeping an eye on the clock and
Yeah,
the conditions.
Exactly, because I mean, the archer is in charge of how they shoot, and the coach can only really tell them, okay, it's time to make the shot now.
The snapshot from Duncan.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Or right at the last second, that gust just
Yeah,
caught him there. I mean, I think that was a lucky one to hit, you know, scoring. The whole way, I mean, Neil has got a bit of a longer shot, so sometimes that doesn't play in his favour. For example, when the gust comes in the last couple of seconds like it did then. But I mean, Duncan has shot a couple of 8s, so it might not be the end of the world here if he can get in a couple of 10s.
7, 6, 5.
Breeze has definitely picked up throughout this match.
It has, yeah.
9.
Managed to keep it in the 9, yeah.
It's got a 2-point lead at the moment.
I mean, this is where the lead really comes in handy, because a time like that when you do need it.
See,
Yeah.
Duncan being blown about all over the place.
Yeah.
And
Managed to keep it on the face, but it's been really tricky for the archers. Each match it's almost been like I've been on a different field.
9.
Managed to keep that one in the 9 there.
so 6-point lead.
Yeah, just
Shakes
laughing
his
about
head,
it.
Smiles at Duncan as if to say, "Hey, buddy, I know what's going on."
Where we've
here."
done the same thing here. I mean, you can't really be mad at a shot like that. Nothing you can do when they've just laughed it off and gone, "Oh well, it happened."
And watching Duncan here just being moved about all over the place.
I mean, sometimes it does make the difference as to whether or not you get caught in it, or you don't. And if your opponent does, how that can affect your performance as well. I mean, Neil opened up with that 6, but luckily Duncan also got caught in a similar gust, which had the same effect. So the 6 therefore wasn't that much of a deficit for him.
Great
Back in
shot
the
from
middle.
Neil.
Yeah.
Similar to Susan's earlier.
That was just. It was. I mean, you couldn't get it. You couldn't have got it any closer. I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, these are men that are usually shooting well into the top 40s, and it just goes to show how conditions like this can affect anybody. It doesn't really matter how much you pull in or anything. It can
Both
really
these
move you.
archers have got a best of 148 out of 150 this year.
I mean, that is insane shooting. Out of 50, you're only dropping 2 out of 10. It's not an easy feat to be able to do that. And they're both. I mean, it just goes to show how evenly matched they are as well. If that's both their PBs for this year, they're both capable of shooting similar, very high standard scores.
Yeah.
It's a nice comeback end there for Duncan.
That's a great end from Neil as well. 29 out of 30 to Duncan's 28, so just pushing himself further into the lead.
I mean, 7 points going into the last end. It's a comfy place to be sitting.
It's comfortable,
yeah.
but that's
Such a clean shot.
Yeah, I mean Neil looked so solid throughout that, and
Yeah.
So with 3 arrows left to shoot,
I mean, you can tell exactly with his shots if it's going to be a 10 or not. He's such a clean shooter.
104.
both these guys opting for V-bars on their bow, maybe to give them a little extra stability.
Yeah, just that added weight can help you just stay a bit more gravitated. But it's just personal preference, really, as to whether it sits better for you, whether it doesn't, or whether you prefer a single bar. But it's the sort of thing that an archer can chop and change and play around with and see what works best. And sometimes they might have a different setup for different conditions.
9.
Nice 10 from Neil. Duncan just hanging on the right a little bit there, but the direction of the wind's changed since this morning's matches. It's now, the flags are now going toward the right hand side, it's coming from the left.
9.
Whereas before we were seeing most people sort of the left hand side, top side of the 8 and 9. There was a bit of movement there in the front.
Yeah, Neil's already won the match.
Yeah. I mean, the beginning of the match was completely different to how it's finished in terms of what they've had to shoot in.
That's a great score.
It's a nice
for Neil.
finish, yeah.
It's actually the highest score so far on the men's quarterfinals.
Just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, the sort of conditions they're having to battle with here. I mean, 140 for these men usually they probably wouldn't be happy with, and in these conditions it's, you take it any day, any day.
And the scores are in there. First off, Neil Burke's water takes the win and move on.
That's Neil confirmed as the winner of that quarterfinal, and he will face the winner of the next match.
Yep.
We have one more match coming up in the quarterfinals for the top men.
Just gonna look at Neil's winning shot.
It's a tidy last end. Can't really complain with that.
Just one arrow that was a bit loose.
A bit,
in the
bit,
six.
bit high, yeah. I mean, besides that shot, I mean, he was really consistent the whole way through.
2-ball archery, cocktail archery, and plate archery. Also, thank you.
Okay, we're moving into the final quarterfinal of the morning, which is men's compound, James Mason versus Adam Carpenter.
Say adios.
Okay, as you can see, we're at the match, number 1 seed versus number 8 seed for a place in the semi-finals. go, your brother, Adam, against James, who has been one of the best compound men in the last couple of years in the country.
He's been shooting insane scores, insane. But these two this year have been battling it out quite a few times, so it's nice to see that they get to have another crack at it and see how they get on against each other. But both home representatives. It's kind of sad we were in separate sides of the half, but
Both obviously colour coordinated today.
yeah, I mean they must have planned their outfits this morning.
And that's nice to see, that respect and that.
Yeah, it's just acknowledgement
Teammate.
of, you know, you're a good shooter and let's just see how this match goes. And it's, you know, there's no bad blood anywhere. It's just like two mates shooting against each other. And that's what we seem to find with most of these matches, because the top 8 is so tight that it's good to see that all these people are shot against each other the whole way through all of the stages this year.
Eight.
Little on the left there for James's first arrow. Adam also on the left, so I think this is just a case of
Both
settling
with pretty
in.
quick shots compared
Yeah.
with how they usually shoot.
Yeah. And James found the 10 straight away.
Seven.
No, nice comeback from that 8 there. They've given it an 8 star, but I'm pretty sure that one's not in.
Eight.
They're saying
Just to dial himself in a little bit. It just
Yeah, it's
seems
just-
a little quick at the moment.
yeah, he's not settling into the shot as he'd probably want to be. Adam's hold is usually a bit longer, but this might just be a bit of nerves. Because I suppose he knows how good James is, and it's going to be a case of, well, I've got to match up against that. There should be a couple of arrows at the Dutch. I'll have to have a look at this end. Adam's got my dad in the coach in the coach's box. I mean, there probably won't be anyone that knows his shot any better than him. So
Okay, so it looks like the scores are confirmed, and James on 28 and Adam's
25.
yeah,
and,
arrow got marked up.
Let's see if Adam can sort of settle into that shot, get a bit more confident. Yeah, that's better. Just outside for James. Yeah, Adam sort of found his rhythm now. The first archer we've seen using a wrist release.
Yep, today there's been a variety of releases on display. And in this weather it's always tricky for people that shoot like a back tension or hinge release.
Yeah.
But I believe it's due to an injury that
It's in
James
his
is
wrist.
over
Yeah.
to a wrist release at the moment. He seems to have made the transition well.
Yeah, he's adapted really well to it, but I know it's something that he's been battling with throughout most of the season, so it's given him that chance to have a play around with things and see what helps him when, you know, so he's able to shoot consistently and sometimes just getting through a round as well. You know, shooting a full 720 with an injury isn't easy. He's got Neil in the coach's box. James.
Okay, so James's arrow's been upgraded, so we're still 3 points sorry, a 3-point lead for James. 3 ends left to go.
29. So James maintains a 3-point lead after the first share of the Adam tries to further on target.
Excellent. Right in the slide.
Really nice shot there.
Great start to the third end.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of shooting that you want into, you know, shooting 10 for 10. Just out on the left-hand side there. Exactly, they're shooting exactly the same.
Yeah. Adam just needs to stay in contact with James because he doesn't want to let him get too far ahead.
Yeah, that's going to be it, isn't it? Similar with the match we saw with Chris and Adam, you know, it's just keeping close to your opponent.
Both of them shooting 27 ends. I don't think James was particularly happy with his final arrow then.
No, definitely not. You know, Adam's not letting him get any more points than him from the last end, so that's what you want really. You know, if you can't make any more points, just maintaining that the same gap there. Yeah, I don't think Adam quite knew what happened with that last 8 there. But these two, particularly this year, have been shooting some amazing scores that will go towards senior selection next year.
Yeah, I've got it down here that your brother Adam has shot 704 this year, first time over 700 in competition.
Yeah, he shot a couple this year, a couple of 700 plus scores. But before he could manage to get the 700, I think he shot 12 consecutive plus 90 scores, and he couldn't quite catch that 700.
Yeah. And then James has got a 707.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
9.
But James has done really well overseas, hasn't he, this year?
Yeah, in Berlin. I was over there, and James and Ella took gold in the mixed team.
I mean, they had some difficult people to...
Colombia.
Yeah, I mean...
But no, they both shot exceptionally well, and James has got a nice temperament. He's quite chilled out. He's quite calm.
He's a really nice person to shoot with because he really does settle your nerves, you know.
So obviously James taking advantage of Adam's 7 there to give him a 6-point lead.
25 end for Adam. He'll not be happy with that, but he doesn't. Yeah, he just looked a bit confused more than anything else. That's a lovely group.
Great end from James, 29 points, which puts him firmly in the lead now by 7 points. So you say that 4th end is your clutch end. That is where matches are won and lost a lot of the time.
Because it really does play on your mental game as well, because you know with 3 hours to go.
Just see James's final arrow of the end into the 10.
That is such straight shooting, that is.
He's actually current champion.
He is, yeah, he won last year. So he'll be coming wanting to keep that, hopefully keep the title.
Absolutely.
It's always nice to say you've been able to do it, win 2 times, you know, 2 years in a row. Yeah.
Especially with the level of competition that we've got out there today.
Definitely, yeah, because it really is anybody's game. All these men are ridiculously close to each other with capability and score from this year, so it really is anyone's game. You know, anyone can go out there and shoot the match they need to win.
So Adam just needs to put some pressure on James here and see what happens. It's a great start.
And another 10 from James. Good Gus there for Adam's final arrow.
10.
Doesn't let it affect him. That's a
the way
great
to finish a match.
Yeah.
Perfect 30. So James just needs to hit the target
Yeah.
face.
I mean, he will have known it will have been difficult to have brought back those points, but he just thought, you know what, I'll play the best end I can, and he looked happy with it, so won't be able to ask for anything more.
That was the highest
Scoring.
score of any quarterfinal.
The rest scores are
So yeah, I'd love to
142.
congratulate James. It's nice because Adam did say to me, you know, you can't ask for anything more than losing to a friend or someone that you respect well as an archer as well, someone who you know is capable of shooting those scores.
And the scores are confirmed. James wins the match 142 36. That concludes the quarterfinal match for the top-down men.
Okay, we're just watching James's last arrow to take the win. We'll be back at 12:50 with the compound junior women's key event final, followed by the junior men's key event final.
We'll start our meeting in 20 minutes with the key event final matches. Junior compound archery, featuring gold medal matches with the women followed by the men. So stick around to watch the CSC. Their key event.
morning and welcome back to Caldicot Castle in South Wales, where we're just about to get underway with the Compound Junior Women Key Event Final. Here we will have Jenny Bryan versus Hallie Bolton. You can see their progress through here. Jenny took out Paige Jones and took out Madison Coling in the quarterfinals. Okay, so there's a bit of a difference in experience level between these two.
Yeah, Jenny's been on the youth GB team, and this is her second year. In her first year, her first was the European Youth Championships, and she managed to she came away silver individual, which for her first event, I mean, is really great. She lost to a teammate, Layla Anderson, who, if people are watching this morning, shot then. Yeah, so she's got some great experience, and Hallie's sort of up and coming. She's sort of making her way into the squads, but this will be great practice, especially for her going up against Jenny as well.
Sure. I mean, Hallie's come through like our talent identification pathway, and then has made it through to our development squads.
Yeah, so she's making her way up there, and because eventually, you know, the people that are on the youth team at the moment are going to get older and will eventually move up. So these archers are coming up to fill their shoes and replace them in the next years. Both of these archers did really well at the AGB Youth Festival this year, back in August.
It's a great first arrow from Hallie because she was being blown around all over the place.
Yeah, she was. She did really well to maintain that shot there. Almost identical arrow there from Jenny.
Sure. It's great that these juniors are getting a feel for what a finals field looks, and
yeah, definitely, because it's so different from what they'll be used to shooting just at normal tournaments. You know, shooting a full 720 round, it gives you plenty of time to sort of settle in and get a feel for the shoot. Whereas in a finals, it's completely different, with even just down to there being cameras and the big screen and an audience as well. So learning to handle the nerves.
So Jenny just took a quick look at the clock there because it was running down.
Yeah. A little bit of panic might have just set in right at the very last second there.
And that's a 5 from Hallie. Shot was just a little rushed. There's probably a few nerves.
And as well, it's difficult not to anticipate the wind, given the conditions.
Jenny's hat appears to have blown off.
Hopefully that didn't distract her too much.
So both of them finding that first end challenging. Jenny leading 25 to Hallie's 22. Like the scores have been confirmed. We'll move on to N2 shortly, with Hallie shooting first.
That's a nice shot. Nice comeback, yeah.
Just starts to put a little pressure onto Jenny.
Especially with Jenny being the more experienced of the two as well. It'll be nice for Hallie to just apply that little bit of pressure. Yeah.
So with the conditions the way they are today, I mean, we went down to the field just before the start of this match, and it's so changeable.
It'll go from almost dead still to then it's very gusty rather than a continuous wind. Hallie's keeping it in the 10 there. That was a lovely X shot. But sometimes this is where leads don't always last as well.
Exactly. That's a great recovery from Jenny.
Yeah, she just needs to not let the 6 get to her, because, you know, anything can go. Another gust here. Hallie really needs to just sort of stay focused, stay strong on the front. An 8, I would, I'd take an 8 in that.
Shot. We could just see some of the boards falling down in the background.
She did really well to keep that in the red, even. Like, that was really tricky.
Both of them shooting back tension release aids, which are hard to shoot in the wind.
Yeah.
Well,
you've got a certain time frame to get it within there, and if it sort of slightly dips out of that time frame, then it could potentially be fatal for the shot. I mean, I am a hinge shooter myself and always have been, so in the wind you really have to know your shot and know the timing. You know, because it may mean that if there's a gust coming along, you might have to just sort of pause the shot movement momentarily while you wait for it to pass and then continue pulling. But I mean, I believe these girls have been shooting back tension for quite a while, so
yeah.
I mean, throughout the year it's something that you sort of pick up and you learn on, and it does mean that they've got to be more careful, unlike if they were shooting trigger.
So scores are confirmed. Hallie has a 1-point lead after the second end. So it would be Jenny to shoot first. Just want to thank Wales Archery for their partnership with this event. We couldn't put events together like
Definitely.
this.
Yeah, they've been a real help in helping us put on this really high standard of an event here. And a great venue as well to be shooting at.
One of the best finals that we've had.
Yeah.
Looking quite calm and strong.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great
It's
shot.
a nice shot.
Keep pushing, pull in, keep pulling back, keep working it, make sure to finish your shot, keeping it strong. Look, 10.
It's a really great group from Jenny.
That's too close to call. I think, you know, the scorers have called it 10, but I think the judge will take a look.
I'd definitely be moving my sniper with a group like that. And Hallie also hanging on the left-hand side there.
Had a lot of that today.
It's changed as well. You know, the beginning of the day started off the archers sort of sitting along the left-hand side, and now then with the men they're on the right. And poor Jenny's just shot another 9, but it's such a good group.
Yeah, very good.
You can't be angry with an arrow like that.
Cool, and that's a 6 from Hallie. Just rushed the execution a little.
Yeah, the last bit of the shot just didn't look as strong as it started.
So at the moment it's showing as a 3-point lead for Jenny. That could change if her second arrow is upgraded. Wait for the judge's call on that. It's nice to see the archers supporting each other. Paige was knocked out early
in the
rounds.
in the quarterfinals, yeah.
She's come in to support Jenny.
Yeah.
So you know, they probably train a little bit together, and
Yeah, I mean, they're around each other all the time, you know, with all the squads and everything like that, and all the competitions, you know, so they'll be shooting pretty much the same competitions week per week. So it's nice to see these archers supporting each other, even like in Paige's case, even though she's been knocked out, she's still supporting her teammates, and that's really nice to see.
was upgraded. It's a 4-point lead for Jenny.
Looked strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lovely shot.
The wind. Just working about the minute. Just keep pushing for the 10. Make sure it's a nice strong shot. Keep pulling straight back. Make sure she finishes shot. She pulls straight back. 10.
That's a nice opening to the end for Jenny.
Again, I think the judge will take a look at that arrow. It's too close to call from here.
Yeah, they've got it down as an 8-star, so that one could sway the final score for the end for Hallie.
Oh, and that's a miss for Jenny. Still only 3 points in it. She needs to put that out of her head now.
Really nice grouping from Hallie there. Both arrows just in the 8 there. Well, one to be checked, but that was really unfortunate, Jenny. In this weather, it really can happen. But I mean, she followed it up with a 10, so it clearly was a case of she must have just got caught by the wind and flinched at the last second trying to keep it in.
That's fine. So at the moment, scores are showing a 1-point lead to Hallie, but she has an arrow that the judge needs to look at, so that could go to a 2-point lead.
I mean, this is where Jenny's original lead has helped her, especially with that arrow there, because it could have been worse than what it is. I mean, she can still bring back 1 or 2 points.
Just going to look at that 5 out from Jenny. Opens with a 10. And comes off the wall a little.
Yeah, she can just see she slacked off just at the last bit, but in the wind it's difficult to maintain the pressure sometimes when you've been blown about.
And a fantastic recovery.
She did well to put that there. I mean, getting an arrow, even a blue, let alone a miss, is you know, it does make you feel a bit down. So it's nice to see that she didn't let it get to her and she just shot a 10 that she knew she could shoot.
2-point lead for Hallie.
So that means that 8 was called a 9 then. Another 10 from Jenny. She's back in there now.
Puts the pressure firmly on Hallie. She's looking strong.
Yeah,
you know,
she is.
Great shot.
Yes, she is. She's been really consistent this match. But she's been given an opportunity. It's now to see that she'll capitalise on that and shoot some good shots.
So 10 will take her into a 2-point lead with 1 arrow to go.
Really nice shooting.
All Jenny can do right now is try and hit a 10 and hope that Hallie falters.
Yeah. She's sort of like got a good line on the top of along the 10 there.
She has. Okay, so this for the gold medal.
It's an 8.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's all she needed. Do you reckon she was thinking about it a little bit then?
I think she might have been, yeah.
It's difficult not to work it out in your head.
Yeah, she's quite quiet.
She is,
girl,
yeah.
And, you know, from seeing her today,
Yeah.
the improvements that she's
She's
made.
come out of her shell and she's really shown what she's capable of shooting. And I think she'll be really happy to, know that she's won a match. And against Jenny, who, probably somebody that she's looked up to and maybe shoots against quite a lot. So she'll be really happy with this result today.
There we go, confirmed by the judges. Hallie Bolton is our junior key event winner. was Hallie's winning shot.
I mean, it was what she needed. She shot what she needed,
Absolutely.
but she was shooting really consistently throughout that whole match.
Okay, coming up, the gold final for the compound junior men key event. Okay, we can see the brackets here. We've ended up with Louis Perkins versus AJ Scott in the gold medal match.
Partnership with Wales Archery. Please welcome our competitors, compound junior men.
So I know that Louis used to shoot recurve and he's only just recently on the compound scene.
Yeah, I think he's been compound for maybe a season or two now, and he's been doing really well. He's come up quite quickly against some of the other lads that have been shooting it for a bit longer. So, I mean, sometimes going from recurve to compound is quite a nice transition because it sort of gets in the movement of the back and working it that way. So,
And I know AJ's been on Great Britain's development team.
he has, yeah, and he performed once again another actor that did really well at the HB Youth Festival. I think he made a couple of finals there. So both of these have had some finals practice. You know, they've especially nationally. So it'll be interesting to see what these two archers will perform.
Looks like AJ is going to start us off. Okay, height-wise great, but again we're seeing
Wide out the
narrow
left. Yeah. Louis also to the left there, but not quite as far out as AJ, so with a 9, which is quite comfortable. Bit of movement there on the front with AJ's shot. I mean, he keeps it in there. That was a really nice
He's
X.
very strong.
He is, yeah, and he's a lot taller than some of the other lads as well, so he's got that to his advantage. A really nice shot.
I think what we're seeing today is when the weather's allowing,
Yeah.
that's less than ideal shot
Yeah.
from AJ.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with it.
The execution wasn't strong.
And he's not happy with it, but given AJ's 23, it's not too bad.
He's not 23, he's like 16.
Score for the end, yeah.
But Louis moves into a lead 4 points.
But yeah, it's like you were saying, that if the weather allows it, the shots are really clean and they're dead straight. But just when it's catching the archers, you're seeing how much it's pushing him either out to the left or out to the right, as we've seen earlier on today.
And AJ Scott will shoot first.
Again, you can see the flags in the back, the wind pushing around.
Manages to keep it straight though. Just our 8th left there for Louis. We'll see if AJ can make back a couple of those points from the first end.
So the deficit has been pulled back by 1. Again, everything over on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a nice group, but it's just hanging too far left to make any of those 10-liners.
Solid shot from Louis. So back to a 4-point lead after 2 ends.
Yeah, he's not allowed AJ to make any more on him, so. But I think these guys will be hoping for some closer groups at the moment, because with the weather it's not really allowing for the 3 hours to sort of stay together in one area. But see, Louis got Nathan in his box, who's been on the GB team for 2 years now. He's done really well. The boys last year in their team, they won I think it was the gold medal for the men's team. Yeah, he's sort of settled in a bit now, and he's found the 10. So you just need to sort of.
It's a bit of pressure.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to sort of try and stay there and build back on that 4-point lead that Louis has.
Louis responds well.
Good 10. Really
Still,
nice.
if you look at his target face, there is nothing
On the right hand side of that
if
X
you drew a line
down
the
the middle.
centre.
Mhm. Bit of movement there. It's a gust coming through.
I think that's a miss.
Yeah,
I
down on
think
the bottom.
Louis just
That was very unfortunate. He got caught right in the middle of it. With 4 seconds to go, it wouldn't have slowed down enough for him to have brought that back up. See if AJ can sort of keep the hold on. And he does.
fantastic end from AJ, a perfect 30.
He'll be really happy with that, for sure. Nice finishing.
Yeah, Louis did a fantastic job there.
Now Louis
He's angry, but
yeah,
you know, it wasn't a bad shot. It was just
unfortunate in where he got caught, but that's exactly what we saw with Jenny.
yeah.
A 10 followed by a miss and then another 10 to finish.
it strong, keep pushing.
So Louis' arrow wasn't upgraded.
Keep it strong. Nice.
Yeah, he really needs to shoot some 10s here in order to sort of bring that, you know, as that one wasn't a 10, he really needs a few more just to help solidify a bit less of a lead for AJ.
That's a 9, I think.
Yeah, just out the 10. I mean, mils, but
So
it's close.
Still a 5-point gap.
Really nice, strong shot there.
Okay, so the gap's been cut to 3. He just needs to apply some pressure.
Yep. Another great group, but
Yeah.
just on the left-hand side.
Right, so AJ needs a 7 to take the win.
And he does.
And he shoots a 7.
Wow, yeah, to see him sighing there. I think there was a slight bit of nerve in that last arrow. I think, you know, especially with finals, you've got, you know, people calling out the arrow value, so you know what you need to win, which sometimes does play a bit on your mind, but I mean, he did what he needed to do.
But I think what's great is things like the Youth Festival and this are giving these guys an opportunity to be on a finals field so that
Yeah.
when they go abroad,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
kind of used to it.
Yeah, so I mean, you want to make it as familiar to you as possible before you get put in those competitive environments, and there aren't many competitions that allow them to do it. So things like the key stage, and you know, if they do make the quarterfinal itself one year, and AGB Youth Festival, you know, they give these guys the opportunity to build on that experience, so that, like you say, when they go abroad, it's something familiar to them, and that's one less thing to sort of factor out of the nerves.
Yeah, that was, wasn't it? Brilliant.
And here's AJ's winning shot to take the key event title. Okay, if you can just stay with us, we'll be with the Junior Key Event Awards shortly.
We have a new award ceremony for our compound senior event finals. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Thank you, TD Digital Bank, Starlink, our new sponsors for the National Tour Finals. Stay on target with your finances. Track your spending in real time with Starlink Bank spending insight. So they adios, you use your Starlink Bank. I would like to thank Monmouthshire Council for their support, as well as our sponsors, and we'll be with Blue Williams, Cornwall, Axel, and Voice. And our compound junior event. Finals for partner with Wales Archery.
Well, I was going to say,
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the compound junior women's key event final.
Okay, we're about to see the award ceremony for the junior women key event.
Wales Archery. For the bronze medal, Grace Chapel.
And so in third place we have Grace Chapel.
For the silver medal, Jenny Ryan.
And silver place, we've just seen Jenny shoot. Jenny shot really well and has come away with a silver today.
And for the gold medal, Holly Bolton.
And the winner for today, the junior women key event, is Hallie Bolton.
Congratulations to all the juniors that have taken part.
Yeah, they've shot really well today.
Sure, so we've seen some quite difficult conditions this morning for both compound men and women, and also the key event finals.
Yeah, definitely, and especially for these juniors, you know, unlike the men and women that we've seen this morning, they might not have as much finals practice experience as well, so having to apply those nerves of sort of like the unknown and then the added pressure of the conditions as well, they've done really well to perform as they've done today.
Okay, and we're about to see the award ceremony for the compound junior men key event.
Medals will be presented by from Wales Archery. For the bronze medal, Nathan Thomas.
So our bronze medal winner is Nathan Thomas. Congratulations.
And the silver medal goes to Louis Perkins.
As per the match we've seen, Louis is our silver medal winner today.
Yeah, he shot really well, just caught by the wind on that one arrow.
Yeah, really unfortunate, but he did well to keep going and he shot really well.
And our gold medalist is AJ Scott. Seems super happy to have won.
Yeah, he seems really happy and he should be. He performed really well today and he deserved it. Congratulations, AJ.
Please give a warm round of applause to our athletes. And that concludes our award ceremony for the key event stages this afternoon. We will have the semifinals and finals for the compound and national tour. I'd also like to remind everybody that we have a how go as well as a walk through the just outside the castle. Go out and turn right. Get some great activities as well as how go. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Archery Bank, Monmouthshire, as well as our archery sponsors, and that's Lucky, Louis Win, Idaho, Louis, Caldicot Archery, Excellent Archery, and Waste Archery.
Okay, here's the final ranking. So we can see still the top four need to play off for places this afternoon. Okay, and here is the final ranking for the compound men. 5th to 8th already sorted. Top four still need to be confirmed this afternoon. We'll see you back here at 2:15 for the start of the semi-finals of the women's compound, followed by the medal matches, and then the same for the men.